Hello dear students, welcome back to EduHunt video lecture series. We have finished up to amphibia. In vertebrate category, we have finished Pisces and then amphibia also finished. And now we are entering the true land animals, that is reptiles. Reptiles are well adapted to survive on the terrestrial environment, and the common examples of reptiles are in our family we have lizards, that is not family, in our house we have lizards. They are reptiles. And we see the snakes, they are reptiles. And alligator, crocodile, it is there. So this is a reptile. And python, viper, the garden lizards, ante tondal antam kada, so they are reptiles. And even what are the common examples that you know? Garden lizards, and king cobra, that is snakes, crocodiles, mosallu, ballulu, even tortoise, also examples of reptiles. Let's move into the details of reptiles. The general characters, that is, first is a study of reptiles is known as herpetology, and study of lizards is known as saurology, and study of snakes is known as serpentology or ophiology. Saurology is the study of lizards. Serpentology or ophiology is study of snakes. General characters, these are poikilothermic animals. What is meant by poikilothermic animal? It is nothing but they have varied temperatures, body have varied temperatures. That is from in the surrounding environment, if the temperature falls down, the body temperature also adjusts to the surrounding environment. If the surrounding temperature raises, the body temperature adjusts to the surrounding temperature. That is called poikilothermic animal or cold-blooded animals. This is the primary feature of this class Reptilia. And these are true land animals or true terrestrial vertebrates. These are the first terrestrial vertebrates. We can say up to amphibia, even in Pisces, all the animals, all the fish, they belong to marine, and most of them, 95% of the fish, they survive in marine waters, and remaining 5% they live in fresh water. Whatever be the water, they live in water, that is aquatic environment they prefer, and they survive only in aquatic environment. But in amphibia, they were adapted to just live for some time on the land. That is, they can have both terrestrial as well as aquatic environment. They are adapted to live in those environments. That is why amphibious nature. Whereas in Reptilia, these are exclusively land animals, that is terrestrial forms, and exoskeleton consists of scales. Scaly skin is seen. Example is even lizard and snakes. Snakes have their body has scaly skin. They also shed their skin, that is called molting. Shedding of skin is called molting or ecdysis. Molting of skin or shedding of skin. Occasionally they shed their skin, scaly skin, they leave the scaly skin and they have the new skin. Respiration is pulmonary respiration, that is lungs are the respiratory organs. Kidneys are metanephros. In amphibian animals, the kidneys are mesonephros, but in reptilia, the kidneys are of metanephros type, that is they are developed. The kidneys are developed. And heart is incompletely four-chambered. That is, our heart is four-chambered heart. We have two auricles or atria and two ventricles. But reptiles have four incompletely divided four-chambered heart. That is, two auricles, two atria are completely divided. There are two atria. The ventricles are not completely divided, but the four-chambered heart is seen in crocodiles. Though they are reptiles, they have four-chambered heart. But the major important point of reptiles is heart. That is not of three-chambered, but incompletely divided four-chambered. Incompletely four-chambered heart is the characteristic feature of the class Reptilia. But exceptional case is crocodiles and alligators have four-chambered heart. That is, the septum is completely divided. The septum is completely formed. It completely divides the ventricles into two chambers. A systematic arch paired, and both right and left systemic arches are communicated through foramen of phalange. Foramen of phalange. Foramen is a pore. Alimentary canal opens through cloaca, that is the anal part. And cranial nerves are 12 pairs, and olfactory structures, Jacobson's organ. Jacobson's organ is an olfactory structure, and columella oris is present in ear. And lizards have external, middle and internal ear, but snakes have only internal ear. This is a demarcating feature. It is a remarkable point, notable point for snakes. They have only internal ears. పాము చెవులు అంటూ ఉంటారా బాగా వినేవాళ్ళని? పాము చెవులు వీళ్ళకి బాగా వినిపిస్తాయి. బికాస్ పాముకి చెవులు ఉండవు అంటారు, బట్ దే హ్యావ్ ఇంటర్నల్ ఇయర్స్. విత్ ద వైబ్రేషన్స్ దట్ మేడ్ ఆన్ ద ఫ్లోర్, దే get those vibrations, they observe the vibrations and they take quick movements according to those vibrations. Only they have the internal ear. Snakes have the internal ears, but whereas the lizards, wall lizards and other lizards have external, middle and even internal ears. Fertilization is internal and mostly they are oviparous. They have cladoic eggs. What is meant by a cladoic egg? Cladoic egg is nothing but an egg is protected with a hard shell, calcareous shell. That is called a cladoic egg. Up to amphibia, the eggs are non-cladoic eggs. They are soft in nature. They are laid in the water. They need not be protected from the external environment. They are soft because they are laid. They are released into the water. But these are truly terrestrial animals, so they have to protect the eggs. That is why they lay cladoic eggs that have hard shell around it. extra embryonic layers, as I mentioned, amnion, chorion, allantois and yolk sac. This amnion is present in the embryo, that is why they are kept, they were kept in a group called amniotes. Amniota, group amniota. Amniota is a group where amnion layer, extra embryonic layer is present in the embryo. These are poikilothermic, amniotes. Reptiles are poikilothermic amniotes, but frogs, that is amphibians, are poikilothermic anamniotes. Their development is direct, that means they do not produce any larval forms. Examples are tortoise, testudo, turtle, chelone, garden lizard, chameleon, calotis, wall lizard, hemidactylus, girgit, chameleon, crocodile, alligator, etc. These are the examples. Wall lizard, hemidactylus, chameleon. Chameleon is what we call Usarvalli antam kada, that is one. Turtle it is crate, calotis, garden lizards ivi ivanni kuda, and heloderma, cobra, tortoise, crocodile. These are the various examples of the class Reptilia. Crocodile, and narrower snout is present, and fourth mandibular tooth is visible. Alligator, these are broader and rounded snout. అంటే మనం అనుకుంటాం crocodile and alligator both are similar, but they have small differences. That is why they are separated from each other. Crocodile is different and an alligator is different. In India, we have only crocodiles, not alligators. Crocodiles have large but narrow snout. But in case of alligator, the snout is rounded and little bit broader when compared to crocodile's snout, and found in North America, China, and not in India. Just you keep it in your mind that alligators are not seen in India, they are seen in North America and China. And gavialis, narrow and very long snout is there when compared to both crocodile and alligator. They have narrow, long snout. Hemidactylus, commonly called wall lizard. Draco, that is flying lizard. They have a web toes. And calotis, which is called garden lizard. Chameleon, girgit, ante Usarvalli. Tongue is protruded out, and tail is prehensile tail. What is meant by prehensile tail? Prehensile tail is nothing but the tail that is coiled around the object, coiled around a branch. That is called prehensile tail. And coil avadam valla it can hang with the help of that tail. And asynchronous vision and color changing ability is present. What is that color changing ability? That is called camouflage. Camouflage ante entante they change their body color to match with the surrounding environment, to mimic the environment. For example, if they are present on the bark, tree bark, they just they resemble the color of the bark. Their skin color resemble the bark color. If they are present on the leaf, they will become green, so as to protect them from what we call predators. To protect them from predators, they show the camouflage, which is nothing but a color changing body they have. Heloderma, Gila monster, only poisonous lizard. This is the only poisonous lizard, Gila monster, Heloderma, and found in Mexico. And Varanus, udum antam kada, udum pattu antaru. So the toes hardly, it fixes, the body fixes to the some rock or some object. It never releases that easily. That is why in older days the soldiers used to tie the rope to the body of the Varanus, and they just throw that Varanus to the hilltop like that. It catches the top and it never releases it. That's why it helps the soldiers to crawl or to climb up the mountains. అంటే ఈ ఉడుము తాకుకి తాడు కట్టేసి వాళ్ళు చివరికి ఇలా మనం గ్యాలం వేస్తాం కదా, ఆ టైప్లో విసిరేవారు. విసిరితే ఆ ఉడుము టక్మని పట్టుకుని ఉండిపోయేది. చాలా గట్టిగా పట్టుకొని ఉడుము పట్టు అంటారు. అందుకే ఎంత గట్టిగా పట్టుకునేదంటే వీళ్ళందరూ కింద నుంచి పైకి పాక్కుంటూ వెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు ఈజీగా ఎక్కుతూ. ఆ తాడు పట్టుకొని ఎక్కుతూ వెళ్ళిపోయే వరకు కూడా అది విడిచిపెట్టేది కాదు. సో దాన్ని ఉడుము పట్టు అంటారు. ఎవరైనా గట్టిగా పట్టుకుంటే ఉడుము పట్టు అంటారు, అదే. So that is Varanus, monitor lizard, and Uromastix, spiny-tailed lizard. The tail has small spines over it. And Maboya viviparous lizard, and Anguis European, and Ophiosaurus Indian glass snakes. They are a little bit transparent in nature, both limbless lizards, and Phrynosoma, horned toad. Antamu, actually, it's not actual toad. A lizard with hygroscopic skin. Hygroscopic is nothing but it captures the moisture from the surrounding environment, from the surrounding atmosphere. It grabs the moisture. That is hygroscopic skin. The Phrynosoma, horned toad, which has a skin which takes the moisture from the surroundings. And poisonous snakes. Nagupamu, Naja, cobra is a poisonous snake, and it is neurotoxic poison. When the poison enters the body, the nervous system gets collapsed. Enhydrina and Hydrophis, these are sea snakes and deadly poisonous. Adi gaani karchindante immediately the person becomes unconscious and immediately dies. Bungarus, katlapam antam kada, crate, and Crotalus, rattlesnake. Rattlesnake ante enti? What is meant by a rattlesnake? Rattlesnake is nothing but a snake has a tail which sounds like rattle. పిల్లలు ఆడుకుంటారు కదా rattles, ఇలా ఊపుతాం కదా, ఆ ఊపే ఆ రాటిల్ని ఇది ఆ రాటిల్ సౌండ్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్తుంది. when it moves, when it crawls on the ground, it moves, it shakes its tail and it sounds like a rattle, a children rattle. That's why it is called a rattlesnake. And viper, hemotoxic poison that attacks and that holds the circulatory system. And L'Oreal pit viper is a L'Oreal pit of a pit viper is a thermoreceptor. Temperature changes it detects. Viper is a viviparous snake. So these are the points regarding class Reptilia. And coming to non-poisonous snakes, rattle snake నేను చూపిస్తాను, చిన్న షార్ట్ ఉంది, చూపిస్తాను. నాన్ పాయిజనస్ స్నేక్స్, పైథాన్ అంత పెద్ద కొండ చిలువ. మరి నాన్ పాయిజనస్ అంటున్నామంటే ఓన్లీ ఇట్ ఇమీడియట్లీ ఇట్ గ్రాబ్స్ అండ్ ఇట్ స్వాలోస్ ద యానిమల్. మనం ఆ యానిమల్ని తినేసిన వెంటనే, నోట్లోకి లాక్కున్న వెంటనే దాన్ని కట్ చేసి ఈజీగా రెస్క్యూ చేయొచ్చు యానిమల్ని. అంటే ఆఫ్టర్ ఈటింగ్ దాట్ అది చూ చేయదు, జస్ట్ ఇట్ స్వాలోస్ ఇట్, మింగేస్తుంది అమాంతం. మింగిన తర్వాత ఇమీడియట్లీ ఇట్ కాయిల్స్ అరౌండ్ అ ట్రీ ట్రంక్. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే బాడీ లోపల వెళ్ళిన ఆ యానిమల్ మొత్తం ఈ బోన్స్ అవన్నీ బ్రేక్ అయిపోయి ఇట్ విల్ డై. సో ఎరిక్స్ జానై శాండ్ బో ఆర్ డబుల్ హెడెడ్ స్నేక్ అని అంటాం, బికాస్ ద tail as well as the head look alike. Natrix pond snake అంటాము. అండ్ జామినిస్ ఆర్ టయర్స్ అంటే rat snake ఆర్ ధమన్ అంటాం దాన్ని. అండ్ డెండ్రోఫిస్ ట్రీ స్నేక్ అంటే చెట్ల మీద ఉంటుంది అది. పసరపాములు అంటాం కదా, టైఫ్లోప్స్ బ్లైండ్ స్నేక్. These are the examples of blind snake. I'll show you some small video of rattlesnake. How do rattlesnake make sounds?
This is a rattle from a rattlesnake. I've always wondered how rattlesnake rattles make sound. Well, if you look inside, you'll see it's pretty hollow. This is very surprising. I thought rattlesnake rattles worked like maracas, and they had little bits inside that knocked around to make sound. But they're hollow, so that can't be the case. But look here, if I pull on the rattle, a piece comes off. It seems like the rattle can come apart in different sections. Here's an image that can help us see how the sections fit together. One section is highlighted in white. See how all of the segments fit loosely inside each other? Now look at this. Notice how the segments aren't firmly connected. They have space to wiggle around and move. So when the rattle is shaken, those segments knock into each other. And that's how a rattlesnake rattle rattles. This is a rattle from a rattlesnake. I've always wondered how rattlesnake rattles make sound. Well, if you look inside, you'll see it.
Yes. Quite interesting. How a rattlesnake sounds. మనం పిల్లలు ఆడుకునే ర్యాటిల్లో లోపల ఏవో సమ్ సీడ్స్ వేస్తారు, బట్ ఇట్ జస్ట్ షోడ్ దాట్ it is a hollow tail only because of the segments they touch each other and make sound. Anyway, we have finished the general characters of the class Reptilia, and in the next session we are going to answer the multiple choice questions belong to this chapter. Goodbye.